Good morning and happy Canada Day. I am at work, even though it's a holiday. I want to get this done. I want to get everything planted. So I'm back in this house where I was doing the mulch and planting and weeding. Today I want to weed this garden really quick. Add some shrimp compost, and I bought some vegetable plants to put in here. And then I have other plants for down the side. I bought a tree. I bought other plants. So, yeah, I'm gonna get started. So in here I'm gonna be adding, like I said, some shrimp compost and some vegetables and herb plants. The other problem at this time of the year is everything's getting sold out and you're down to the last few choices, so you got to take what you can get. And I know just by adding in some good earth and water and all these plants that maybe look a little bit weak, they'll be flourishing in no time. The weeds are bad. It's just been a bad year with the rain and then the heat and the sun. It's just perfect for growing lots of things, and weeds included. So this is moss. I'm not worried about that. That's easy to pull out later. So I think that's pretty good. It's just here. Should probably cut these back too. The chives have passed. Cut them, you can probably get another couple of months out of them. Okay, that looks good. So I will be back. So these are the plants I have. Pepper plants, a basil, parsley, oregano, rosemary, and 2 tomato plants. One's purple and one's red, but they're both cherry tomatoes. Where I went, they didn't have any just beefsteak or anything like that, so cherry tomatoes it is. We'll make it all work. So now what I'm going to do is sort of get an idea where I'm going to plant the plants, and then add shrimp compost only to those areas. Anywhere else doesn't need to have soil amendments because it's only going to feed the weeds. So I just use my compost or whatever I'm using around the base of the plants. So I'm going to start placing. I think that looks pretty good. I'm just staring at it. Sorry, I haven't said anything. These are the pepper plants and they're cute, so I want them to be seen when you walk in. Those will need to be picked as needed. And I tried to put the tomato plants near stepping stones, and I don't know what kind of support they might have for them. So worst case scenario, they can sort of tie them to the fence. But I think I saw some supports when I was weeding that were hiding in the garden, so we'll see. So I'm just making a mix with shrimp compost and the old soil. That's all okay. That'll help it along. It's okay to use existing oil as long as you're adding some amendments. So that one looks good. So I thought I'd show you these. They come in sort of a cardboard planter, and the roots will, I don't know if you can see those at the bottom, but they will poke through. It's kind of like an egg carton material, but I like to remove some of it so that the weeds have an easier time finding their way into the soil. This will biodegrade, and you could plant it like this, and the weeds, like I said, are starting to come through, but I like to remove just as much as I can. The parsley came in something similar, and it was hard to take this part off, but the oregano seems to not be as clingy to the cardboard, so I can be careful not to break any little roots, but just I don't have to take it all off. If I feel it's stuck, if it gives resistance to me peeling, I'll stop. But just sort of break it up as I go. Maybe try to make it a little bit thinner on the bottom. Take very long. Now I'm just going to go along the edge and turn this earth a little bit so it's a little bit looks like the other stuff, I guess, and then smooth it all out as best as I can, and that'll be that. And it'll be up to the gardener to come in, and she's got a little rake that she'll use and hopefully flatten it out and help these little plants grow. So I don't usually leave the tags, but since this was the house where the plant went missing, I'm gonna put the tickets back. I just picked them out of the recycling bin. So, if this family ever watches these videos, you'll know why I'm laughing. So, anyway, tags are back. These are all plants, not weeds. So, perfect. That looks good. On to the next, which is the next. Bring you with me. Just walk through a spider web. So these guys are going on the side of the house. So these guys will grow a little bit. They'll grow quite a bit actually. And they'll fit in nice here, and it'll be a nice, almost hedge-like look, just straight across. So it'll go nice against the birch bark too in this pot. So go grab the other two, my shovel, and be right back. Okay, that looks good. All mulched. So it was just here I was wondering what happened. I would have put mulch over this, and it's gone. And here's the same thing. So I don't know what happened there. I noticed this all after a big rain when I came in one day. So I'm wondering if somewhere in here this downspout's leaking or something, because this should just all be full of mulch. So I'm gonna use the end of the bag and I'll fill this back in, see what happens. If it washes away again, then there's definitely something going on in this corner. So it's just something to keep a watch on. And once I do that, I'm in the front. we're back in this garden where plants mysteriously went missing from. I did get to the bottom of the mystery, and it was a misunderstanding, so that's okay, that happens. This garden hadn't been planted in so long that nobody was expecting a good plant to be in here, so decided to pull the new vegetation, which is fine. I'm not, nobody was too upset, and the homeowner understood that these things happen. And so anyway, I'm hoping this is the old root system, which I'm hoping I can dig around, because I want to put in the weeping larch maybe here. I'm hoping somewhere. I brought some good tools with me, so fingers crossed. That's going to be the only nightmare of today, so I'm hoping it goes smoothly. Really, it's a beautiful tree, and I just want it planted. Everything else, flowers, they can be replaced, but a beautiful big tree, I'm just hoping that it's an easy dig. I gotta go down about 2 feet. So I'm gonna go get a drink and then start on that, because I'm worried. I'm very, very worried. So there are some roots from the old tree which I can clip out, but this is, I think this is a hose. I'm not sure. I thought it was a hose, but it might actually be a root. No, this is definitely a root, because this is an old shoot off of it. Where I scratched it, it's brown. But I was nervous. I don't want to cut through a pipe. This I can cut that. I need my clippers. So I'm actually getting somewhere. Yay! I'm still shaking. I was so nervous to do this job. It's such a beautiful tree. I don't want to ruin it. Yeah. So I'm going to keep going, but thank goodness. That's a big root. There's another big root down here, but I'm almost at the point. I'm almost at the right depth. I've got help coming, so hopefully with a little bit of help and a little bit of extra strength, I'm gonna get this done. I think it's got to be a little bit wider, I'm not sure, but the problem seems to be more that side, so if I have to dig on this side, I should be okay, because it seems to be smaller roots that I can I can just cut, and there's nothing going through here, so I shouldn't get a nasty surprise. So once I get help and get the pot right beside it, I'll be able to better gauge how deep. I can go get my measuring tape, but it's gonna take a couple of minutes to go walk around and go get the measurements, so I'm just gonna wait till I know I have to dig more, and I'll dig this way a little bit. So okay, I gotta go measure this, because in this kind of soil you don't want to go any tree, you don't want to plant it deep, you just want to plant it flush with the ground. When it's got a little bit of clay like this, you can plant it a little bit higher so that there's water movement underneath. It's got room to drain. Whew, it's a lot of digging. Sorry, I'm out of breath. This root here, it's not that big, but it's just, well, now I can get behind it, but before I couldn't get behind it. But if I take that out and remove that side, then I should be good. But I just want to double check, so I'm gonna find a measuring tape. So it needs to be 17 across by 11 deep, so I'm gonna check. Well, that's good. I don't need to go deeper. I just need to make this more symmetrical, because it tends to go, because when you dig, you're always pushing forward, so you tend to round off the base. But this part's good up till about here, so just finish that part, cut this out. Should be good. So I'm just looking here. This looks higher than what it is because it's a stump covered in earth. And when I piled it, I wasn't thinking about now. So anyways, I'm gonna cut here a little bit through this and dig a little trench for the water, just to make sure that it flows away from the tree a little bit. I think that'll help bring it to the edge of the garden and drain away from the tree. But I can't dig with all this fabric. So anyway, it's over there too. You can see the fabric. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. I don't really like landscaping fabric, but sometimes it's necessary. But in a garden like this, it's more of a pain because you can't dig. So anyway, this is pretty torn up anyway, and I have to plant something right here, so I'm going to be removing more. Now I've got to plant the perennial hibiscus. It's going to be beautiful. So I need to remove, there's earth over there by the rocks. I got to remove some of that, and then it'll be the Geum part 2. So just this, and then go flatten out all that and cut any of the landscaping fabric that doesn't need to be there. Maybe I can just bury it, I don't know yet. So I'm back to picking out tiny weeds from another garden I've already weeded. But I need to add some topsoil, so I'm just trying to get this out. Pain in the butt. I thought these were going to be more pink. They seem to be a little bit red, which doesn't really go with the color scheme, but they're more of a reddish than a pink, but the picture showed pink. Poop. Huh. This is what happens with clay. It just stays in these big clumps. All the rocks are getting pushed up. Just gotta try to make this a little bit more level before putting earth. Okay, it looks good. Probably have to re-edge again. And earth and compost. So I'm just putting down some sheep compost, and then I will put down black earth on top of that, just to sort of give this some nutrients with the compost, and then just to hide some of the rocks. Really, we're going to put black earth, regular plain old black earth that you buy for like 99 cents. It gives you really nothing. Well, it gives your plants nothing, but it does make it look a little more polished, especially if you've got your earth turned up like this a little bit. I think it would be best to add mulch. It would be 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 bags just to fill under there and along here. Okay. So I think all this is good. Looks nice. Here, a little bit of lipstick on pig, but it's okay. It's all better. Like I said, they should really have mulch. I just know the kind of family they are. And mulch would be better. So yeah, all this. It looks excellent. This should maybe just get a little, you need a little post or something there. Details, they kill me every time. I never think to get the post. You never know how a tree's gonna react to getting planted. Anyway, excellent, excellent, excellent. Hopefully it all stays. Maybe I'll just pass a broom very quickly. I feel like it's gonna rain, so it'll wash away, but I'll try to get the clumps off the pavers. Anyway, happy Canada Day, and I'll see you next time.